Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Four Sports Podcast. How y'all doing? Merry Christmas. Currently recording this on December 26th, so it's the day after Christmas. My dad calls it the best day of the year because, well, he has to stop listening to Christmas music all day. I don't really understand his problem with Christmas music. I mean, I suppose that, he said that my dad always says he doesn't hate it, but just when you listen to it for 2 months straight for like around 55 days, it just gets old, which I can get down with because my mom's a wicked big believer in start listening to Christmas music on November 1st thing, and she's when it's not Halloween, like as soon as Halloween ends and it's like 12 a.m. on November 1st, she's already got that Christmas music blasting. But yeah, how y'all doing? So I got 3 jerseys yesterday because to add on to the collection, dude, my collection's actually getting like wicked big. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I'm gonna step aside. Okay, so these are the 3 that we got here. First one, of course, is Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Second one, the Georgia Bulldogs jersey, number 27. Lock in your guesses. None other there. Then Nicholas, Jamal, Chubb. And then last one, Boston number 0. I think y'all can guess that. Jason Tatum. Alternate away city jerseys, I think. I think they're just alternate away. Yes, either way, we got 3 sick jerseys to add onto the collection. So my mom actually went down to Nashville, I think 4 weeks ago, and she tried to get me a Derrick Henry jersey because, well, she was down in Nashville. I love Derrick Henry, but that wasn't the case. So she got me it. So she got me it to Christmas. Shout out to my parents. Let's get into what you guys came here for. Okay, so yeah, I did really need that Georgia jersey though, because I didn't have a Georgia jersey. I was rocking Trayvon Walker, which honestly can't be bad. But let's go to the New England Patriots game. Let's actually start with that. I need to share my screen real quick with y'all. Okay, here we go. First off, I want to say, Chad Ryland, who's our rookie kicker, overall had such a horrible game, but he knocked down the game-winning field goal, so it was probably his best. This game is also in the running for the best Pats game of the year. And how about that third quarter, though? 20 points. So Bailey Zappi makes a hell of a play. He throws Mike Gesicki in the end zone. All that stuff, my bruins snowman just fell. Let me just pick him up real quick. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, so what I was saying was Bailey Zappi throws an absolute dime, in between 2 Broncos finish. That's great, right? And then Marvin Mims, who's the Broncos return man, he fumbles it right off the snap, so he picks it up, and then Marte Mapu makes a hell of a play, punching the ball out, and then Cody Davis, who's a special teamer, he brings it in to the end zone for a touchdown. Then at this point, it's 23-7, and with 8 minutes left, you got to hold this lead. The Pats give it away. We come back. Got 3 points in the fourth quarter. That's what made this game 26-23. But let's look at the stats. Starting off with Bailey Zappi, 25 of 33, 256, 2 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, 12 for 27, and then Demario Douglas, 5 receptions for 74 yards. Demario Douglas had an absolute clean catch. It was a great throw, great catch, that type of combination. That's like Tom Brady to Randy Moss, you know. Got Kevin Harris, 7 for 21. So 7 carries for 21 yards, my bad. Devontae Parker, 4 for 65. Zeke Elliott has actually become the most targeted receiver ever since Bailey Zappi took over at QB. He's a running back. Either way, he had 9 for 33 and a touchdown. Zeke Elliott's touchdown, he actually hurdled somebody. He hurdled somebody 5 yards out from the goal line, but he still made it in. Jalen Reagor had a really nice catch on the sideline. That was one of his 2 catches in a combined total for 33 yards. Pharaoh Brown, 2 for 25. Mike Gesicki, 2 for 15 and a touchdown. And looking on defense, Christian Barmore was the MVP of this game. I don't care how good Bailey Zappi played. I don't care how good Chad Ryland was. Christian Barmore was just a one-man wrecking crew this entire game. He made Russell Wilson's life a living hell. But look, that was wicked unnecessary. But look, okay, I'm gonna edit that part out. But either way, it's beside the point. I'm getting off track. Mac Wilson, as Matthew Judon put on his Instagram story, Super Mac. I mean, yeah, he deserved that title. Mac Wilson had an amazing game. Marte Mapu was the guy who forced the fumble, and then Alex Austin actually got in on some of this, and yeah, Alex Austin was not that. Alex Austin kind of got torched. Like I'm not gonna lie, he just kind of got torched. So let's so Zeke Elliott and Mike Gesicki for touchdowns. Let's look at just team stats real quick. We were just dominating the Broncos until the fourth quarter came around. All right. Now let's see. I actually wanted to recap all of the Christmas games because they were all just insane games. We got a hell of a Christmas. And I also got a new computer along with this new podcast mic, but the new computer that I got, I'm not recording on it right now because it actually needs to get fixed. Because apparently when they were manufacturing it, one of the guys put in the wrong battery. One that was very like saturated and just a old battery. They put into that one. Now I have to get it fixed. So shout out to Apple for completely screwing that up, but that's beside the point. Let's move to Vegas against KC. I had Aiden O'Connell. I lost all. I went 0-3 in the first round. In the first round of the playoffs. Because Aiden O'Connell's telling me he only went 9 for 21, and apparently Aiden O'Connell actually went 2 hours and 15 minutes in like real time without completing a pass. But I'll tell you, Zamir White had a hell of a game, and Jacoby Myers 3 for 42. Let's look down at the scoring. Bael Nichols and Jack Jones, they scored these 2 touchdowns, as you can see, 7 seconds apart. The Chiefs just sold. Like, that's just where we are. The Chiefs just straight up sold. The Chiefs did come on eventually, at the end there, but absolutely nothing good for the Chiefs. But looking at Zamir White, hell of a game, and Austin Hooper, Devontae Adams, who I have in fantasy, he went 1 for 4. And then Pat Mahomes, Tommy Townsend the Chiefs did a fake punt. Tommy Townsend dropped an absolute dime. So yeah, either way, Pat Mahomes 27 of 44, 235, touchdown and a pick. Mahomes actually was the team's leading rusher with 53 yards. Rashee Rice is the leading receiver as always, 6 for 57. I want to see if Isaiah Pacheco, he got nothing, and then Kadarius Toney, who's the king of dropping passes this year, didn't get targeted. I mean, I guess he kind of deserved it. So, and then Chris Jones got a sack. Same thing with Charles Ola. I don't even know how you say that. The Eagles are frauds. This game should prove it. I don't care if they snap their 3-game losing streak. The Eagles did play really good, but holy crap! How do you let the Giants almost come back? How? How do you do that? DeVito got benched, and then they had Tyrod Taylor. About that. But by the way, Tyrod Taylor's interception was on the final play. The Hail Mary got tipped up a bunch of times and picked. Barkley had a hell of a game. Oh my god, I almost dropped you guys. Sorry. 23 of 80 and 23 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Darius Slayton 3 for 90 and a touchdown. Slayton had a really long touchdown at the end there. Daniel Bellinger. Apparently Darren Waller's back. I dropped that guy in fantasy a long time ago. He's back with 2 for 32. Daniel Bellinger 4 for 43. Yeah, sounds about right. Wandale Robinson 3 for 16. I don't even know who that is. And then looking on defense, Bobby Okereke. Well, Adoree Jackson actually had the pick 6, which the Eagles should not have won this game, but they did. 301 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Devontae Smith 4 for 79 and a touchdown. A.J. Brown 6 for 80. Next game. Okay, so this game I did not expect. I didn't expect it to go this bad, especially for Brock Purdy. 4 interceptions. I just honestly thought that this game was going to be like 24-20. And the Ravens, when I saw that they were up like 30-14, I think it was. Yeah, they were up, wait, hold on. No, they were up 30-12. Just an absolute blowout. And just the Niners just overall this game just lost. Yeah, just looking at it, Lamar Jackson 23 of 35, 252 and 2 touchdowns. He had a good game. Lamar, hold on y'all, 7 of 45 and then like Zay Flowers 9 of 72. Gus Edwards had a really big reception. So yeah, not like really pop off the chart numbers, but if you had Ravens defense for fantasy, you got an absolute Christmas gift because Brock Purdy got benched. He was 18 of 32, 255 and 4 picks. Two of those picks were not his fault. They were both tipped balls, just got absolutely just tipped up in the air as far as possible and it was pretty much one-on-ones. Kyle Hamilton versus Brock Purdy. Who do you got your money on? Of course, Kyle Hamilton won, but then Sam Darnold got put in 8 of 14, 81 yards, touchdown, and the pick. McCaffrey had a touchdown, and then I actually made a call saying that Brandon Ayuk was going to be the leading. Ronnie Bell ended up getting the touchdown. I don't even know who he is. But yeah, that's for the Pats game. Let's go to Celtics and Bruins. I'm going to start it off with the Celtics, as they played yesterday and got the win at home, and the Lakers continue to just be the most mediocre team you can think of. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So let's start it off with the 6-point loss in overtime to Golden State. In overtime, we just completely fell apart. Just the Celtics played a well-rounded game, but in overtime, we just couldn't get it done. So yeah, Jaylen Brown had 28 points. Jason Tatum only had 15. Al Horford had 13. Derek White went off. And Derek White should be an all-star. He had 30. Drew Holiday had 13. Sam Hauser got put in for 21 minutes and got 0 points. Good for him. Nemes Quita had 10 points. Peyton Pritchard had 11. Really good production out of everybody except for Tatum. He has bad days. And now this game, Tatum actually got injured mid-game, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at like the bottom of a 25-point win over a team as talented and as good as the Sacramento Kings they are this year. Impressive statement victory, even down in the first quarter, but we just dominated. Like from second quarter on, just dominated. And that's a true statement win. Sam Hauser, he actually played 35 minutes. He only got 10 points, though. Jaylen Brown had 28 points. Kristaps Porzingis had 24. Drew Holiday had 21. Derek White had 28. Another big performance from Derek White. And then Peyton Pritchard had 20. Nemes Quita had 6. O'Shea Brissett had 3. And then Mikhail Luke and Stevenson both had a bucket. And a tale of two blowouts. This is the second one. The LA Clippers were actually looking legit coming into this game, okay? The Clippers up until this game had won 7 straight games. They were just blowing teams out left and right until they got their asses handed to them. I don't even know what the heck is 145 minus 108. That's a 37-point victory in LA. I know it's not as big of a crowd as the Lakers, but that's still absolutely insane. Tatum had 30 points. Jaylen Brown had 24. Al Horford had 6. Derek White had 18. Drew Holiday had 20. Pritchard had 9. Quita had 4. Nemes Quita starting to get better. He's starting to adjust to the NBA level. He had 14. O'Shea Brissett actually had a really good game. He had 12 for his standards. Lamar Stevens had 4, and then just everybody going down the line, All right. Last game, Celtics Lakers. Yeah, I would say this is a really good win. We were up 30-14. Like first quarter, we got off to a really hot start until we didn't, and the Lakers had the lead at halftime. And we just kept outclawing. We just kept outclawing the Lakers, no matter how much or how little it took. We just outclawed them. Like Tatum had 25, Jaylen Brown had 19. Porzingis continues to play really good. He had 28. Drew Holiday at 18, Derek White had 18, Al Horford had 6, Peyton Pritchard had 10, Sam Hauser had 2, and then overall just great game by the Celtics against the Lakers in LA. Big crowd for Christmas Day and ended up pulling out the win. Statement win. Okay, so I got some problems with the Boston Bruins. We've lost 4 straight, and I just can't stand it. We don't know which team gets off the bus every day. We just don't know, and this team's just scuffling right now. If I'm being honest, this team's they're just scuffling, and they need the break. That's my hot take. They need the break. They need to completely refresh. They need a refresh. Let's move to the first game. We have the Wild at the Bruins. Played kind of home and home here. But looking at it, Pastrnak had 2 goals. He had 11 shots on goal, so good for him. Pavel Zacha had 2 goals. Beecher and Geeky each had assists. Same thing with JVR. And Marchand scored the 3rd goal. Yeah, honestly, this was a really close game. And I think that it just came down to overtime and then somebody made a mistake. Well, overall, I'd say the Bruins played a really good game. And then this game, what the heck was this? Like, what was this? I'm just saying, which team got off the bus? The crap team or the good team? Because I totally can't tell a difference. Dude, what was this? We just looked completely outclassed the whole game. The only player that actually showed up was Carlo. And Carlo actually had a couple of really nice hits this game. And then going back home to Minnesota, by the way, with that Jets game, I actually watched the first 2 periods, and then my friend was like, hey, can you help me with my Christmas decorations? I'm like, I don't want to be watching this crap. So let's go to Bruins at the Wild. This was the second game of the kind of home and home, I guess you want to call it. Home alone, but home and home was stretched out. So Trent Frederick had an assist. Geeky had a goal. Heinen, Marchand, and McAvoy all had assists. And Pastrnak had a goal. Okay, so yeah, just this game, Morgan Geeky got robbed twice by Marc-Andre Fleury until he eventually scored. Okay, now we will move to predicting NFL Week 17. This is going to be a very, very tough week. I can just tell. I can just tell it's going to be such a tough week. By the way, Monday Night Football is on Saturday. And looking at last week, I probably didn't do that good, but I think I'm still under 100 wrong. So I got the Rams, I got the Steelers, I got the Bills. I did not get the Commanders, did not get the Vikings, got the Browns, got the Packers, got the Seahawks. Did not get the Colts. Picked the Bucks, I got that correct. I did not get the Cowboys. I got the Bears, I got the Pats. I did not get the Chiefs. I got Eagles, and I did not get the Niners. So I'm just gonna go through and count how many wrong there is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 wrong, which means that's a 10-6 week. Which means we're 96. We're at 96 wrong, and I have to stay under. I have to stay under 2 for this week. 2 and under to even have a chance at this. But either way, it's going to be this week that I stay over 100 wrong. Go over 100 wrong. But let's go to Thursday Night Football, where we have the Jets at the Browns. Browns had a statement victory last week against Houston. I know it's Houston without C.J. Stroud, but Cleveland's 10-5, and they're looking really good, especially with Joe Flacco. He throws too many interceptions, but David Njoku's his favorite target, which I think can be a true weapon. Give me Cleveland over New York. By the way, with the Jets, with the New Jersey Jets, they were up 20-0. They were up 20-0 at one point. They got off to a really hot start until Sam Howell got benched and the Commanders were up by 1. But then I think the New Jersey Jets kicker knocked down the game-winning field goal. Monday Night Football on Saturday. We have the Lions at the Cowboys. They wanted to put this game in primetime, and I don't blame them. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. but give me Dallas. For the sole reason that Dallas is playing at home. If the Lions were playing at home, I would pick the Lions, but since the Cowboys are just so good at home, they're just so good, they can't be beat at home, which is really what I'm coming down to. If they get home advantage in the playoffs, no matter who they're facing, unless if it's the 49ers, I would pick the Cowboys. I'm picking the Cowboys in a playoff preview against the Lions. Up next, we have the Titans at the Texans in Texas. I think C.J. Stroud is playing this week. I'll look it up. It's looking like C.J. Stroud's going to return, and if that's the case, the Texans should win this game. I'd say Texans currently 8-7. If they win out, they most likely make it in. 10 wins should be good enough to make it into the postseason. I'm picking the Texans in this one, even with or without C.J. Stroud. I just think that the Texans are a well-rounded roster, and they'll beat the Titans. Next, we have the Falcons at the Bears. Give me Chicago. Give me Chicago. For the sole reason that they're at home. And honestly, if you ask why, because they're at home, and I don't really know. Another really big game for the Miami Dolphins. We have the Dolphins at the Ravens. If y'all remember what happened last year, Baltimore was up 35-14, and Dolphins ended up winning 42-38. It was an absolute shootout. And I'm actually going to take the Miami Dolphins for a repeat against Baltimore in Baltimore. But give me Miami. I don't care it might be really cold in Baltimore. Who knows? But I think the Dolphins match up well with the Ravens. I think the Dolphins steal an upset at home. This just feels like the perfect letdown spot for the Ravens. Up next week, the Saints at the Bucks. Give me Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is on a wicked hot streak right now. They're going to make it in. I think Tampa Bay honestly wins out. And that means that they actually have a valid team going into the playoffs as the NFC South representative with a good record at 10-7, hopefully. But they will move to the first half of becoming 10-7. They will go to 9-7 against the Saints. Up next, we have the Pats at the Bills. I picked the Pats last week and it worked. But the Bills are a much improved team since week 7 when I went. And for that, I need to get picks right, and I'm sadly gonna have to pick the Buffalo Bills. I do not want to, but I got to. Up next, we have the Cardinals at the Eagles. Eagles should win. If they don't win, then they should just get kicked out of the playoffs. No matter how good or how bad the record is, no matter how good or bad they were the first 11 weeks of the season, they should just not be in the postseason. Just straight up not be in the postseason. All right, up next we have the Panthers at the Jags. The Jags, dude, I think they've lost 4 straight. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars get-right game. If they can't beat Carolina, they will not go far in the playoffs. If they even make the playoffs, that is. Jacksonville bounces back. Let's go to the Raiders at the Colts. I don't even know. This pick might be game of the week over. Well, actually, this is probably toughest pick of the week. Yes, I know Ravens and Dolphins was tough. But give me Las Vegas. I really hope that Las Vegas sneaks into the playoffs. Even though they'll probably get blown out, it would still be hysterical. It'd be funny that they made it into the postseason. And I also would like to see it because the Raiders actually are a really good team with Antonio Pierce as their head coach. He should be the head coach. If you find somebody else except for Bill Belichick, then you're just wrong. The players love Antonio Pierce. He loves the players. It's a perfect fit. I don't know why you wouldn't go with Antonio Pierce, but give me Las Vegas. I hope if Vegas wins out, that means they go 9-8, and I think they sneak in at the 7 seed. And they probably have to play like the Kansas City Chiefs or somebody like that, because the Ravens are going to get the 1 seed. Actually, no, the Dolphins are probably going to get the 2 seed. But let's go to the Rams at the Giants. Honestly, just looking at it, I have to think that if Tyrod Taylor's starting, Giants actually have a really good chance at this, but the Rams are just on a hot streak, and they just seem like the Rams aren't gonna have any resistance no matter who they play. If Tommy DeVito is starting or if Tyrod Taylor is starting, the Rams are still gonna win. Up next, we have Niners at Commanders. Can I just skip this game? Niners are gonna kill them because the Commanders are just garbage. Just give me the Niners. I just hate talking about that game. Up next, we have the Steelers at the Seahawks. Oh, this is actually really tough. Give me Seattle though, for the fact that Seattle's at home and Pittsburgh, they blew the doors off the Bengals. But I honestly just kind of feel like the Pittsburgh just is not good at making it 2 in a row, and the Seahawks are a new and revitalized team after coming back against the Titans, and I think that the Seahawks will end up getting the win here and moving to 9-7 and most likely making it into the playoffs. This was supposed to be Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes, but it's Jake Browning versus Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs are going to absolutely, I was going to say blow the doors off the Bengals, but this game's actually going to be really close now that I think about it. Chiefs have been kind of fraudulent, but the Bengals have been consistent before their brutal loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But give me KC 27-24. Up next, we have the Chargers at the Broncos. Give me Denver. Denver's going to kill them. I said the same thing about the Bills, but Chargers actually made that game really close and got out to a quick 10-0 lead. So since Monday Night Football's on Saturday, we got no Monday Night Football. That means that Sunday Night Football, we have Green Bay at Minnesota. Minnesota is going to win this football game. I said, yeah, well, actually, no, this is another tough pick because, this is tough. This is really tough. Give me Minnesota. I hope Joshua Dobbs starts because the Vikings were actually really solid with Josh Dobbs starting, but with Nick Mullins throwing 4 interceptions, he's probably done. Yes, give me Minnesota to win this football game. And that's going to do it for this one, everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed this week's Big Four Sports Podcast episode. Make sure you go check out my Big Four Sports Podcast page on Instagram. How you would search it up in Spotify, just no spaces. And go check out my personal Instagram, which is NickEdson0307. That's going to do it for this one, everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed it. All right. Peace.